Hey everyone, I'm Belle, and this is my husband Zach, and our cheeky red devil, Ruby. We're setting off on an adventure in my 2020 Winnebago motorhome, and this trip is extra special. It's our mini lap to celebrate our very first year of marriage. Over the coming weeks, we'll be making our way through Queensland, New South Wales, South Australia, and the Northern Territory, chasing sunsets, discovering hidden gems, and creating memories that will last a lifetime. We'll share the highs, the challenges, and everything in between. Life on the road, the people we meet, and the places that take our breath away. So buckle up and come along for the ride. This is Belventures. Hello, and welcome back to another episode. So it's been a minute. I've been super slack with traveling and all of the things, been super busy. Zach and I moved to Queensland and just haven't had the chance to get in the motorhome and travel. Sorry about the noise and the rocking. I'm currently in Dalby, Queensland, just stopping over for a quick lunch break. Been on the road for 3.5 hours and I've got 3.5 hours to go. So this is going to be a series where we take the Winnie to Uluru and back. So currently on the side of the road, there's a really good stop here in Dalby. It's on Wiki Camps called Thomas Jack Park. It's this one here. Oh, where are we? So there's awesome parking. It's straight off the main road and there is a park beside it. So there's toilets, drinking water, and it's pet friendly. So a really good stop. It's opposite KFC if you don't have Wiki Camps. So I left mid-morning this morning on my way to St George. So that's the first stop for the night. I'm currently traveling solo. So this is Zach and I's first year wedding anniversary trip without Zach. So I planned a 6-week trip to come and do Uluru. So I had originally planned to do a motorhome trip before I purchased this motorhome back in, when was it, 2020 or whenever the C word happened. So yeah, that obviously got cancelled and I just went ahead with buying a motorhome anyway. So that was going to be my little trial run and I've always wanted to do it since. So had to look into a few options for Zach and I's first year anniversary and they were going to cost a bomb. So we would have had to sit on a flight for say 30 hours to go to the Maldives or Bora Bora or whatever. Cost us, anywhere from 15 to 20k each. And sit on a plane a week there and then do it in reverse to come back home. So I'm like, well, surely there is a better option. We can utilize our time and our money heaps better. So I had the motorhome up for sale at that stage and I took it down. I had a buyer looking to purchase her, but come up with this idea and thought, you know what, let's do it. So Zach was meant to be here, but unfortunately he couldn't get the time off work at the start of the trip, so here I am going solo. Obviously Rube's in the background here, so she's come along with me. So we're going from Queensland, which we currently live in at the moment, and we're heading through central Queensland, down through central New South Wales, and then down through South Australia to Adelaide, where I'll pick up Zach. But anyway, I'm going to leave you here, get on with the trip, and then we'll catch up and I'll go through more of the itinerary and what's to expect coming up. Hope you enjoy. Mate, haven't I had the afternoon hell? And now I'm waiting to get on my site, right, which is a drive-through site, and then you've got this. Have a look at this. This person, it's a drive-through site, and they've just parked there. Like, hell. Really? So, what a bloody afternoon I've had. Where do I start? So, I filled up at Kilcoy and had about 40 kilometres to go past one of the petrol stations, and I'm like, right, I've only got 40 k's to go. I've got 80 k's in the tank. I'll be right. I've got double. Girl math, you know? So anyway, coming along, and then with the motorhome and that, it doesn't give you a percentage, so it will give you a range, and that's when it was like, right, 80 k's, I've got 40 k's to go, I'll be fine. And then once it gets below that, it goes into like reserve fuel, and it won't give you a range and tell you how much is in the tank. So I've had it down to where like the last little light on the dash is blinking. So I've had it down to there, and I've always like fueled up then, because you can't see how many k's you've got left in the tank. And I'm like, righto, I've got 15 kilometres to St George. I should be right, because I had double the fuel. And then anyway, come around this bend, no reception, nothing, and then it just conks out. So I had to like go off this, like, it wasn't even a highway, it was like a big like ditch down off this road, like this highway. You'd call it a highway, but it wasn't like flat like normal highways. It was obviously a rural highway. So went off down into the ditch, conked out, and I'm like, went into like fight or flight mode. Just got out. I had a 20-litre jerry can, which I was gonna use for petrol for the generator, because I'm doing some off-grid camping, and luckily I didn't put any petrol in it, so I had that empty. So I just grabbed that, grabbed my phone, locked it up, put my hazards on, and just started walking. So it was a 20-minute drive into town, 15 k's I had to go, and I just was like, righto, I've just got to walk. Like, what do I do? There's no phone service, I can't call anyone, it's getting dark. It was 4:45, and I was just like, far out. So anyway, I waved down this person going the opposite way. He kept driving. Waved down another car, like with my jerry can in my hand, like, help me. They just drove past me. A truck went past, and then another car. So I waited for the truck to go past, and then I waved down the other car, like, help me. They just kept driving. I'm just like, bloody hell. So anyway, I turned around. I'm like walking on this, like walking on the bitumen, and I could see this truck coming. So I just turned around to this truck and held up my jerry can, and he's pulled up, and everything in my body was just like, I don't know, you just go into shock, and you know that it's wrong, you know stranger danger, you know the statistics, especially, you know, blonde hair walking down the road, motorhome with its hazards on, you know, a couple of meters up the road, all of that. And anyway, he opens the door, pulls her up on the highway, opens the door, and I looked at him, and he just had like a kind face, and he's like, come on, jump in, I'll take you in. I'm like, can you take me to the BP in St George? He's like, yep, jump in. So he grabbed my jerry can, and I climbed on up. I'm like, thank you so much. And he's like, no, it's all right. Apparently the truck that went past me, going the opposite direction, was a female, and she called him up over the radio and said, there's a chick carrying a jerry can heading into town if anyone wants to pick her up and help her. And he said he was a little bit hesitant, because he hears the horror stories of picking females up, and then they turn around and try and get them, I don't know, for harassment or whatever, you know, try and pin them for doing the right thing, for helping them out. And I said, oh, well, look at me in my situation, you know, like, this is going against everything you're taught, but what do I do? Like, you know what I mean? He's like, nah, it's all good. So massive shout out to Craig, you're a bloody legend. So he is from inland Gold Coast, and yeah, just happened to pick me up, and I don't know, I can't really remember the conversation because I was just in that much like shock and panic and just fight or flight, you know. But bloody legend, like he went into town to drop me off. So when I was in the truck with him, when we got into town, finally got service on my phone, I rang Kamarooka Tourist Park, which is where I'm staying for the night. And Amanda, the receptionist, answered, and I told her, like, I've ran out of fuel, I'm 15 k's out of town, I'm in a truck, coming into town now, I've got a jerry can, gonna fill it up, are you able to help me out and take me back? I said, literally, it's life or death, I don't know how I'm gonna get back there, I'm gonna have to get a random lift. Again, like, if you could please help me out. She's like, yep, no worries, I'm just checking someone in, give me a couple of minutes, I'll come pick you up. So anyway, she gave me a call back and she's like, I'm on my way now, are you at the BP? And I said, yeah. So she picked me up, thank God. So we drove out there and she's like, do you want a hand? I'm like, no, it's all right, I'll sort it out. Like, I had the jerry can, the little spouty thing, all of that. I'm like, it's all right, I'll go and sort it out, you know. I didn't want to impede her, you know, any more than what I had. She's like, no, I'll give you a hand. Thank God she did. Like, the funnel snapped off and I had like a like the hose thing snapped off and I had a funnel there, so I was holding the funnel and then a little hose thing, holding it by my hands, and then she was lifting the jerry can up into the bago, and there was just diesel going everywhere. It was just an absolute just nightmare. So anyway, get in, have a look how much fuel. The Winnie wouldn't start, obviously, because I've just conked it out of fuel. Put a bit more fuel in, went to start her again, and then this time she turned over and that had the blinking light. She's like, how much fuel have you got? And I said, I don't know. And I explained, you know, what I just told you then, that it doesn't show you how much range or how much fuel you've got. It just is just your lights until you get out of that reserve fuel. So then she helped me out. And because I was in such a ditch, I got out, like, went to go, because obviously there's trucks flying along past there. Went to go, and she said, like, my whole front end, like, both my wheels were up in the air. So when I've, like, come up over the lip onto the road, it's sort of just come up, got air, and, like, smacked back down. And I'm just like, I just need to, like, get going, you know what I mean? So, yeah, drove into town, fueled her up at the BP, and then drove back in. So called her back up because she was busy running around, the poor darling, you know. I've put her so far back into work, and she goes, all right, you've got a drive-through site, you got really lucky. I'm like, oh, thank God, you know. Not that, like, it's unlucky to have this happen to you, but, you know, having Craig pull up, who was super nice, like, anything could have happened to me, you know what I mean. I could have just got the wrong person in the wrong truck, you know. And then having Amanda be so helpful and just willing to drop everything to give me a hand and take me back there, so, you know, nothing happened to me and all that. And I'm just like, all right, cool, I've got an easy drive-through site. So then I get to my site and there's a Camry parked there, and I'm just like, oh. So I rang her, I'm like, I'm so sorry, like, I just felt like I was the biggest pain in her ass. I'm like, there's someone parked on my site. So she door knocked, and I jumped out and spoke to, like, my neighbours on the site beside me, and said, do you know who this is? And he goes, nah, it's like a guy in high vis. I'm like, oh, radio. And anyway, so I started back and I told them what happened to me. I'm like, you know, this, that, whatever, and I'm about to cry, you know, from, I think it was just the come down of the shock, and just, it was just, you know, one thing after another, and all I wanted to do was just to get here, to park up and just, you know, chill. So anyway, so they found the guy, and I was about ready to, like, tear his head off. And anyway, another guy who heard the story and that, like, knocked on my window to sort of save me doing it. He's like, it's all right, just breathe, it's all good. Because I was just like, yeah, you're right, mate, you know, like, about to have a full go. Like, how stupid are you, you know what I mean? Yeah, apparently he, like, pulled up, drove in because he wanted to see if there was a room available. But parked in the only vacant site. So go figure. Couldn't park on the road, couldn't park outside. But anyway, we'll leave that alone. So that was pretty much my day, and now I'm sitting here just going, that was loose. Like, honestly, I didn't think, I just conked out of fuel, got it down, put the hazards on, got out, didn't even like, couldn't remember that I like locked it up, grabbed the jerry can and started walking, because I'm like, the sun's going down, like I need to find reception, like what do I do? Just didn't even take 1 second to take a breath. So yeah, big learnings for the first day, honestly. Like that could have been so much worse, and I'm so bloody thankful to Craig and Amanda, like, for helping me out. There's no way I could repay you for what you've done, getting me there safely, helping me out, like honestly in debt to yous forever. Thank God there's still nice people. It really shocked me how many people just drove past me. Do you know what I mean? Like, whether it is what Craig was saying, like you help women out and then they turn around and like throw it in your face and say, oh, he did this to me, or whatever it is, I'm not sure. But it just, yeah, it really shocked me at the amount of people that seen me walking in the space of, I think it was 5 minutes I was walking for, probably not even that, before Craig picked me up in the truck. But yeah, it just really shocked me. You would think that people would be like, all right, there's a female, she's stuck, she's got a jerry can, I can see the motorhome up ahead, like let's just swing around, give her a lift. You know, it was only 20 minutes into town, like, you know, but each their own. But super thankful. Big learning curve. Yeah, just absolute nightmare. So yeah, I'm ready to have a shower, get into bed, gonna research, like, and just stop every single time that there's a fuel station. I need to go and get another jerry can. So it was just lucky I had that jerry can for the generator for petrol, so it was lucky that I didn't fill that up and left it empty. So gonna go and buy another little jerry can for that tomorrow, and maybe some like new hoses and funnels and things like that, so if it ever happens again, that I don't run into that. Yeah, be interested to know, put in the comments, you know, I don't know, is it worth buying like a UHF? Like, what do you do in circumstances where you've run out of fuel, you've got a breakdown or something, and you've got no service? Like, what do you do in that situation? Like, what's the safe option? Like, how do you get help apart from walking on the road? Like, yeah, put it in the comments, I'd like to know. But that was the end of my day one. I'll check in the morning, give you a walk around the caravan park, and yeah, I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. So I'm just got the drone out to get some footage of this caravan park, Kamarooka, but unfortunately we're in a no-fly zone, so that's probably why you can't see any drone footage or anything like that of St George, because we're in a restricted area due to the airport. So sorry about that. I was going to get the drone up and take some footage, but yeah, it's not worth risking the fine or getting in trouble for. So I'll take you for a walk around the caravan park. Last night Amanda gave me a call up and invited me over for some pizza, and yeah, I just wasn't hungry after all the stress and stuff from yesterday, but I ended up going and taking a drink and sitting by the fire. So they do fires of a night, not sure if that's every night or whatnot, So yeah, they chuck on a fire and everyone sits around, has a few drinks, you know, tells a few yarns, meets each other, things like that. Met a few other solo female travellers, yeah, which was pretty cool. Got to know Amanda. So she is the owner's daughter. So this is a family run park. Her mum and dad were ambulance officers, and yeah, basically one of them come up with the idea and said, how about we buy a caravan park? The other one thinking that they were joking, but they were dead serious. So anyway, they retired, or they retired from the ambulance service, and brought this caravan park. So if you're coming through St George, or you're looking for, you know, somewhere to stay while you're passing through, or you want to check out St George, make sure you come and stay here at Kamarooka Holiday Park. Support them. They're not a part of a franchise like G'day Parks, Reflections, things like that. They are a family run business, and which is a small business, so I'm sure they'd really like your support, and especially for what Amanda did for me yesterday. Like, it's very few and far between these days, people willing to give you a hand in times of need, but I called her up, she dropped everything. Even though she had 2 other people to check into the park, she was went above and beyond. So thank you so much again. And yeah, I would really like, if you guys are coming through, come in, stay the night, support these guys. They go above and beyond. You know, they put the fire on, they do, they've got a pizza oven there, which I'll show you. They even have like fluffy bath mats, and they try and make it as homely and as accommodating as they can. I'll run through the sites, take you for a walk. They do gas refills, so that's what I'm going to do today. Make sure that I've got 2 full gas bottles. I'm going to head off to Mitre 10, which is just down the road, and go and get a jerry can for the petrol for my generator, and another funnel. So yesterday I needed a long neck funnel to then penetrate like the hole where the diesel goes in, where yesterday we were covered in diesel, Amanda and I, because we had the funnel coming off the jerry can onto the other funnel and then holding it, and it's dripping down my arm and things like that. So if I can go to Mitre 10, get a long neck funnel, that will get me out of trouble, because I've got a small nozzle hole. It's not a truck nozzle, so I'm a little bit picky and choosy with where I go and get diesel because of that fact, is that I don't have the big Bowser nozzle for the diesel. I only have the little one, like the little car one. So that's why I pick and choose. I only go to like certain petrol stations and things like that that have like the car nozzle. But if I can get a long neck funnel, then I'll be sweet. You know, I won't run into, hopefully, the dramas that I had yesterday. So yeah, what a stressful day that was, but big learning curves. You know, I also learnt that the difference in the colour of the jerry cans. So I just went into Bunnings and just got a yellow one because I like yellow. I didn't know that it was a diesel one, so that's what I learnt yesterday as well. So diesel is yellow, petrol is red. The red one is a lot thicker than the yellow one, so petrol requires a thicker plastic to hold the petrol in. So I'm going to go and get a red, probably 10 litre, because 20 litre is quite heavy to carry, lift up and all of that for myself. So I've got 10 litres still left over of diesel from yesterday, and then I'm just going to go and buy a 10 litre for the generator in case I need it. So I'm going to go free camping today. I'm heading off to Charlotte Plains, which is in between St George and Cunnamulla. So I'm heading there, camping off grid. So yeah, follow me along and we'll go and check out Charlotte's Plains, and I'll show you around Kamarooka Tourist Park in St George. Highly recommend. If you're traveling through looking for a night stay, come and support these guys. They are bloody awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. And yeah, I'll see you on the road. So I was on site 22, and it is a really large level drive-through site. The only thing is you're right next to that light there, which penetrates straight through to where you're sleeping. That's the only thing that I could sort of fault with this site. But the sites all seem relatively well maintained. That one's got a slab. And then you've got assortment of cabins all through here. Looks like there's a kids' play area over the fence. Some more cabins here, and then this is the main area. So you've got barbecues, pizza oven, you got a pool. The pool isn't heated, but really nice addition. I'm sure it gets super hot out here. Then you've got fire pit, undercover barbecue area, and then they've got coffee, so a little coffee station there. I showed you this last night, but got loads of clothesline areas, female toilets. In here you've got a disabled bathroom, a bath for the kiddies, and a little toddler one. All in here. Then through here's the little camp kitchen and laundry area. So you've got an assortment of books and games down there. A couple of washing machines, $4 each, and coin operated. And over here you've got the little camp kitchen, which has sandwich maker, induction cooktop, sink, air fryer, kettle, all of those things, oven, and a fridge here. So pretty much got everything that you sort of want and need to eat into the girls' bathroom. So you've got all the toilets and then the shower block here. And then you've got the fluffy bath mats. So yeah, super hospitable, super clean, tidy, got everything you sort of want and need. Here's an idea. I'd like to actually see someone do that. If you're bringing your pooches along, they've got a fancy dog wash here. So it's just off the main road here. You can get ice as well. And then this is the main office area here. So we're here at Mitre 10. So I got a 10 litre petrol jerry can to sit there with the one from yesterday, 20 litres, and then I also got this bad boy. So this would have made it so much easier. It's got the long spout because where the diesel is, yesterday I only had like a short spout. So in there it wouldn't reach like the hole. So then I've just got this bad boy long enough through there. So all learnings. So I can just live in here. So the one I had yesterday was this one here. So it definitely wasn't long enough, hence why we got diesel everywhere. So yeah, let's head off to Charlotte Plains, Cunnamulla.